What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Memorial Day. We're back at it this time with some more Run 8, and we're going to be taking a 10,000 ton phosphate train. Actually, it's a little bit shy of 11,000 tons, but basically 10,000 tons north on a little segment of the Fitz. Let's go ahead and knock off the brakes and get this thing rolling. This should be a good one. It's a little bit, it's a lot different trip, honestly, to me, going north than it is south with a loaded train. To me, it's like more by the seat of your pants going north for some reason with a heavy train. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Maybe because I've just done it less or something. But either way, it should definitely be a lot of fun and a good trip. All right, I think we're rolling. So this is the K899. This would be like, I think this would be like a Mulberry to Louisville phosphate train. I don't know where they would take it exactly in Louisville, but this is phosphate to Louisville, if I remember the symbol correctly. It's 5,100 feet long, 5,187. It's 1.1 HPT, 10,696 tons. We got 83 loads and 0 empties. We got 3 big jacks on the head end. We got 2 -9s and an SD42, and we are just now leaving out of Hatley, Georgia. All right, let's get this pulled up so you guys can see where we're at. All right, I think we're good. She's moving along pretty well. At least we're on a little bit of a downhill right here, except it looks like the grade kind of picks up. Could be deceiving though, right? Like, because we're going down, it could flatten out or it could actually go up there. It depends. It can be a little deceiving. All right, we're moving pretty good though. I don't think we need any sand. We're doing all right. We don't need that. Yeah, it looks like it's going to pick right back up. And we do have a few trains to meet out there today. Per my lineup, we've got a Q685 and a T109 to meet. So we're not going to go very far. We're going to go on the other side, maybe a Lily. Something like that. Not too terribly far. All right, let's keep opening the throttle gradually since we're pulling up this grade right here. We don't want to get a knuckle. We don't have a pull apart. Shouldn't be bad though. The amps aren't bad. It's really just not. It's not too bad. I've seen way higher than that. We should be okay. She should be fine. I'm telling you, one of the harder spots, like leaving out of a siding, especially going northbound, going into a siding, if I remember correctly, is Dueling. I think Dueling has like a crazy steep grade going into it. It's not very long, but it's like super steep. All right, let's go ahead and open it up the rest of the way. So leaving out of Hatley, northbound, we've got Cordell, we got Ross, we got Lily. We'll go through Vienna. It's one of my favorite areas on the whole route. I think it's a really like fun, enjoyable area to run, especially that like going northbound, that nice little drop off going down into Cordell. You know, you're rolling around it, you're rolling along at 30, and then you've got like you're rolling along at 50, and you got the 30 right there at in town. You know, so you have to slow up for it. I'd eventually get all that out. I knew I would. I don't know why. That had me all messed up for some reason. Nice little area though. It's such a good job capturing the rolling farmland of like South and Central Georgia. Like, it nails it perfectly. It really just does. All right, there we go. I think we're good. Our headlight is on bright. I had to double check that for a second. Track speed's 50. I'm trying to think, do we have anything coming up between here? I think Cordell is it, right? The 30 at the bottom of the hill in Cordell. Then we'll go through Ross, and then it picks back up. I think there's a there's like a 45 or a 40 at Vienna, maybe. Shouldn't be too bad. We'll drop down into Cordell. It'll have a little knot at the diamond in Cordell. It'll go back down into Ross and then climb out of Ross. So we'll kind of think of that a little bit ahead. Just a rough idea. All right, get the alerter. We are running with the back door open today for little poor man's AC. Plus, to me, I think it helps the sound out to have the back door open. It makes it a little bit louder in the cab, which I kind of feel like it's a little too quiet. It's just, I don't know, it's louder than that. It's more obnoxious, especially when you got the windows open. All right, we got this little dip right here, and it's going to pick her right back up. We came out. Let's open the throttle back up because we're going to have some slack running going on this uphill here again. We're going to get a little fast, but it'll be all right. Let's go ahead and grab a little air. Bail it off. We'll get 10. There we go. All right, I think that's better. Right, McKenzie Road here. Like I said, we'll grab 10 so we don't have to worry about stuck brakes because they are a thing in game. Wait to see the rear end drop to 80. It doesn't look like it's going to do it though. I'm gonna go ahead and knock them off. This should be okay. CSX K99's got a clear intermediate 688.5. 9014 north out. All right, so we're good. We're rolling good so far. I don't know if we're going to have to meet at Fort Hill. I don't think so. I'm thinking Ross. Ross is a super popular siding to meet. At least it was back in the day. Got a little bit of a climb. I think it's a little bit of a climb up to Drexel, right? I think Drexel is basically the top of the grade. South of Cordell. All right, so far so good. She's moving along nicely for 1.1 HPT. It's not a bad train. If you haven't taken a loaded phosphate north on the Fitz, I'd highly recommend it. That is by far going to be the heaviest tonnage train you can take north that I can remember, at least back in the day. Nice, rolling through the Georgia countryside. I'm telling you, the trees and stuff, like, this is really the way it was. Like, you would roll along and it would just be just like through the backwoods of everywhere, right? Like thick forests that you couldn't even see 10 feet into. They would have so much brush and brambles and briars and like honeysuckle and kudzu. It was just really, really thick wooded area. Yeah, guys, clear on the distance to Cordell. ZSXK 99 got clear distance Cordell 9014 north out. All right, so we're going by Cordell. That's good. Wouldn't be nearly as bad for us though. Going northbound into the siding would be bad. We could totally do it. We could totally handle that. For those of you that aren't familiar with railroading, that signal we just went by had the P plate on it. It means it's permissive. That means you can stop and go. You can stop and go on that. You know, if you have a stop signal there, you don't have to like come to a complete stop. You can stop and go. All right, here we go. Drexel is going to be at top of the grade. Pretty cool with their tank cars sitting out there. I think that place has been there for a long time. Alright, so the grade should start dropping off. Yeah, it's already dropped off. You see it's negative 0.3. It doesn't look like it. It looks like it's climbing, right? But it's not. It's actually not. It just drops off even more right up there at the south end of Cordell. It's like going over a waterfall up there. It really just is. It gets pretty steep. It's like 1.02%, I think. 1.05. Just a little teeny tiny short stretch. Like it's predominantly 1%. Give or take, but it has one little segment that's like really steep. We're just kind of dragging along. I don't think we're going to get very fast through here. I remember what this place over here on the side was. I think at one time this was a pulpwood yard. I could be wrong, but I think at one time there may have been a pulpwood yard there. All right, so what we got going on here, we've got one really steep grade, 1% down. It's as straight as an arrow too, so it's going to run you fast. And then we got a nice 30 diamond board right at the bottom of it too, so. That's what we got to contend with. This is like one of the few spots that I really like to lean on dynamics. All right, let's gather up the slack. B2. I always feel like, for me in game, it seems like you really don't gather the slack until you get up to about B2. All right, that should be good right there for now. We'll kind of go with this a little bit. That's even better. B6 is even better, I think. She's still won the game. We may have to grab some air on this thing. Oh, there's nothing like rolling into Cordell with a heavy tonnage train and going down this hill. Like, it's just something about it, I love. It keeps you busy through here. Man, with all the crossings and everything else, like, you're having to work the dynamics, you're having to blow for the crossings, you're having to do all the things. And our diamond board is going to be right down there just past the north end. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab a little air. grab 10. Got some cars in the storage track there for the local. There we go. Now it's starting to slow down good. One of the few spots that I really like to lean on dynamics here is there's not a lot. Just my operating philosophy. I don't like using a lot of dynamics on the Fitz. I'd much rather use air, have the power available when I want it. Let's go ahead and come out of dynamics a little bit here. Just let go of this air. Uh-oh, didn't mean to do that. And there's our 30 diamond right there. 30 on the diamond. Close. Almost. I think if we'd hung on to the dynamics just a little bit longer, we'd have been all right. Close enough, though. Let's get that down for now. Okay, we should be about ready to start pulling on it. We're gonna approach medium at Southern Crossing, all right. So we are going in at Ross. That'd be a good one, I'll take that. Let's get a little power here. All right, CSXK99 got approach medium distant to Ross. 9014 north out. Actually, that would be like NS Crossing or Southern Crossing or something like that. Such a fun area to run through. I'm telling you right now, I think it's probably one of the most exciting and enjoyable areas to run through on the line. There's several. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you guys that had the Fitz that run it. Let me know what your favorite area to run through is. I just feel like this trip northbound through Cordell, you know, Cordell, Ross, Vienna, Lily, like it just has more stuff going on through there. Like it's a lot of action. Okay, I think, yeah, we're good here. All right, so we got the little knot there at the crossing. It's going to start dropping back off, of course. Back into, or down into Ross. Probably going to have to grab a little dynamics. Going into Ross there. With this tonnage train. I said just shy of 11,000, so she's pretty stout. Yeah, let's go ahead and set them up. All right, so we're going in at Ross to meet the 685. Here we go, B2, gather it up. Of course, Ross is a 30-mile-an-hour siding, is one of the few on the entire route. And I know I've mentioned before, I want to say Ross may have been the first signal siding on the entire Fitz when they did that. Like back in the day, everything would be like non-bonded sidings, like control sidings, that sort of thing. The poor man's signaling, right? Like it didn't cost as much money when you had a bunch of non-bonded sidings. But I want to say when they did the upgrades, Ross was the first. Like, it was OG. That's why it's got these kind of weird three-headed searchlights. All right, medium approach into the siding, Ross. Anyway, glad you guys have been enjoying the railroad action. Man, it seems like they're doing really good. I'm really pleased to be able to offer you some different content and y'all enjoy it. What it's all about. I'm all about playing different things. We're going to be trying some other things too eventually. All right, let's back off the dynamics a little bit because we're on the uphill side now. Yeah, we're going to have to start pulling on it. There we go. All right, let's go back into power. We'll gradually come out. We don't want to yank that slack out and get a duckle, so we're going to gradually come out on the power. Knock on wood, so far Spur hasn't got a knuckle. I've yet to get one. I'm by no means saying I'm above that. I definitely could. Everyone can have a bad day and get a knuckle, even the best, but we've yet to get one. A little bit of pull into here. That 0.8% grade on this tonnage train is way different than like a slot freight. Those low tonnage slot freights going north, or an empty auto rack, or even an intermodal train. Yeah, it's way different. All right, let's see if we can see him. I don't see him peeking yet. All right, well, welcome to Ross. What was it, like 3 mile siding, something like that, give or take? There's our train for you guys who want to see it. That's not a bad, it's not a good spot to do that. It's not a good spot at all. There we go, it's a little better. All right, let's hop back in. Got this little farm crossing right here. All right, got the set out tracks here. I think those were like, those were called the inside and the outside track. We had a place like this, exactly like this at Coosa Pines, where we did set outs and pickups. And those, we called them the inside and the outside. So I would imagine they would call them the same, maybe. They could be different. I never had to do anything with those personally except just go by them and wave. Just ride by and wave. They're starting to flatten out on us a little bit, and we got a little bit of a sag right here. Since it's mostly uphill, so I don't really want to stop with it bunched. I don't want to use dynamics to stop if I don't have to. I'd rather just use the air and keep it stretched. Yeah, we do have a stop in the siding. All right, I was just making sure auto wasn't giving us those weird in and outs. All right, let's go ahead and grab a little air here, bail them off. There, get a little bit more. All right, she's starting to set up. You can tell. In real life, you can feel it. Like, you could feel when it was starting to really, like, do something. You know, the engineer would get air and you're rolling it along and you're like, this isn't doing anything, right? Like, it's not doing anything. You're not feeling any results. And then all of a sudden, you would feel it start to slow up. Kind of pull back on you, I guess, is a way to explain it. I don't know. It's an odd feeling. There's nothing like it. If you haven't had a chance to ride on a freight train, there's a whole lot of things going on just feel-wise.
Equipment defect detector milepost 700.7.
Let's keep pulling on a little bit here. Yeah, a whole lot of things. Like, it's constantly doing things. It's just not rolling along. Like, you feel it pulling back, you feel it pushing you forward, you feel a whole bunch of things. I always explain it like, to me, it felt like riding on the end of a rubber band, and it's like stretching out, or if it's pulling tight, you know, or getting loose. I don't know. It was an interesting feeling. All right, let's get some more air. There we go. That should be good right there. Nice. There we go. All right, full independent. And I think 685 just hit the Ross DD, so he should be popping around anytime now. Anytime we'll see him. And it should be a good meet. All right, we're playing the conductor role now. We're being a good conductor, so we're going to go watch him by on the other side here. There we go. There's our train. Nothing but a bunch of covered hoppers. And there's our 685. Nice. That was always a really heavy southbound. For a slot freight, 685 was always heavy. Yeah, I remember having them back in the day, you know, 10,000 tons. And that was considered, like, for back then, that was pretty heavy for a slot freight. It wasn't none of this PSR railroading back then, you know, these monster 2-mile long freight trains. We were talking 10,000 tons and, you know, 5,000 feet long. They were pretty stout. Nice. That's pretty cool. He's moving too. He's rolling along pretty good. Nice. Yeah, he's moving. He's booking it, right? He is, man. That's pretty cool. You're gonna have to start getting on it for that 30 at the diamond down there. booking it. Wow. He's doing a solid 50, right? Like, that is definitely a solid 50. Got all his auto rack traffic here. .685 was one of those, did have, yeah, you could tell the train, like it did have auto racks in it, whereas like a 647 never had auto racks. 685 wouldn't have any center beams or lumber in it, 647 would, so you could pretty much just look at the trains and know who it was by like what they were hauling. There, here's the bottom. All right, 685, train looks good, markers hanging. Yeah, I guess we're good. Can we get a light? But look at there. He told us. Otto gave us a heads up. He told us. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and come out independent just a little bits. Give her a little throttle. Knock the air off. We'll give her a little sand too. I'm not sure how she's going to pull out of here. This heavy tonnage. Like I said, I haven't done a lot of northbound heavy tonnage. All right, let's ease out on independent. There we go. I'll throttle just a little bit there. We don't need all that. She's moving pretty good. All right, bottom's moving. We're set. Let's blast off, guys. We'll go to our next meet. Yeah, she actually got moving really easy right here. Wasn't too bad. I just knew she's kind of hanging over that knot back there. Like, you know, we climbed up and then it kind of dropped back down into this little dip right here. Yeah, that was nothing. We don't need sand for that. We're good. Yeah, I got medium clear out the siding. And we can actually do medium speed. TSXK 99 got a medium clear out of the siding, north end of Ross, 9014 north outs. All right, let's do away with that. We don't need that bell. All right, let's open her up. Head on up to Lily. So yeah, we can drag her 30 mile an hour out of the siding. I want to say we got 50 track between us and Lily. I think there's a 45 in Lily, right? Just like to the north of town in the curve, there's a 45 up there. I'm trying to remember all this stuff from memory because you never, like, if you had the profile in front of you and everything, you're never really going to learn it if you just looking at it, right? Like, you won't retain it. So I like to, you know, if I'm going to look at that stuff, I like to look at it and kind of refresh my memory and then close it out and try to think of what's going on. It helps you learn your territory a lot. I said, I know I've said before, I think I remember working with engineers when they would have an engineer come with them. Some of them would like talk about what's coming up for the next siding or two as far as how they ran. Let's go ahead and go number 8. I can't think of any big grades or anything between Ross and Lily. Ross and Lily. I think it drops down into Vienna a little bit and then climbs back up. But it's pretty much just an undulating grade. It's all over the place. And running high tonnage northbound completely changes it up. Like, you remember the last time we went northbound, we were on a slot freight, but it was only about 5,000 or 6,000 tons, maybe. We're double that now, so it's going to run differently. Back out of the power just had. More farmland. Pretty much dead on. Pretty much dead on. Let's come out just a little bit more. Oh, I should have counted it off. I wasn't thinking. I always forget the counter. I'm so bad at that. I forget the counter every time. So we'll know when we come outside. And luckily, we had the luxury. Yeah, we're 50, so we're out of it now. But we have the luxury of knowing that. In real life, you wouldn't. Like, you need that counter. I mean, you would know, hey, it's a mile between here and there, and we're there, so our bottom is definitely clear of whatever it is. I mean,
ASX. Equipment. Defect. Detector. Milepost. 700.7.
all right, Ross DD. Hopefully we won't get popped. Yeah, you can see it's pretty undulating up ahead. There's a little knot there, a little sag, another little knot. It's a great thing about the Fitz. It's all over the place. All right, so one more train to meet. We've got the T109. That's going to be a Boswick coal train. Those things ran like clockwork back in the day, back in the early 2000s. Just a constant parade of coal going to that power plant. That's a pretty big power plant. Like, they took a lot of coal in there. They sure did. I think we ran like a T101, T108, T109. It seemed like every day. Like every day. It may not have been every day, but it seemed like it. Like they were really super regular. And then you had the return empties on top of that. And then not only did we run those trains down there, but they also had K trains that they would take to Boswick. I'm trying to remember the symbol, like a K300 series K train. I can't remember the exact symbol, but they would be pet coke. Don't ask me what pet coke is. I know it's a byproduct from petroleum, like refining.
Equipment. Defect. Detector. Milepost. 700.7. No defects.
All right, no defects. Yeah, pet coke is a byproduct somehow out of refining. and it looked like lump coal, but it wasn't. I don't know exactly what it was, but it burned, and they would take that. They would take that down to Boswick, and they would burn that. So they would run these unit pet coke trains. It looked like a coal train, right? Except they would be, a lot of times they would be in Sioux Line hoppers or Illinois Central. And those pet coke trains would originate up in Chicago, I think is where they came out of. Somewhere up there. And they would run them down to Boswick. It wasn't like super regular, but it was from time to time, you know, they would run them down there. I'm guessing like, I'm not sure how that worked, but I think they basically had like energy brokers that bought their coal for them, because sometimes the coal would be loaded out at a few different mines. And I'm guessing that when they had that pet coke available, they would grab it because it was super cheap and they would send it down there. But not all coal plants could burn pet coke. I know that. They had to have something, some kind of clean air setup to burn that stuff. Some kind of scrubbers or something. And Boswick would get that pet coke. And the cool thing about the pet coke trains back in the day is they would have like Sioux Line engines on them, or Wisconsin Central or Canadian Pacific or something like that. They would have a lot of forward power on those trains. They're pretty cool. I never had a loaded one. I had an empty one time. It was the first time I'd ever heard of them. I had an empty K300 series coal train, and it was nothing but Illinois Central coal hoppers. And I was like, well, what is this thing? And then I found out it was pet coke. Through Vienna. This is going to be Georgia Pacific over here, right? I think this is a Georgia Pacific lead. I didn't mean to do that. I saved a screenshot. I meant to do that. There we go. Yeah, it's Georgia Pacific. Georgia Pacific is cool because on the other side they were served by both CSX and NS. Every Georgia Pacific plant that I ever worked, whether it's Talladega, Durand, or I never worked one at Vienna, but I went by it. But yeah, they were all jointly served. There, go back out of throttle just a little bit because we do have the 45 coming up here. Vienna's another fun spot. It's got this little sag in the middle of it here. Just up there at the other curve, I think that's where our 45 starts at. Let's grab a little air. Go ahead and get 10 so we don't get stuck brakes. Should be able to knock it off now. Wipe the throttle. All right, we should be in business for a 45 up here. I love how they have the pronunciation of the town tagged. It's in the tag. It's like the sausage, Vienna. Either way, it's a fun spot to roll through, like I said, because you got that sag, and then you got to get slowed down for the 45 and low for all the crossings. It's one of those places you have a ton of things going on. There's our resume speed. We'll go ahead and count that off. I think we are 5187 on length. Okay. You can see a whole lot more up and down. All right, got to clear on the distance to campground, so we're either going to hold the main there or meet the T-train somewhere else. I don't know. Interesting. Maybe he's in the hole waiting on us. He could very well be. We may just go right by. Yeah, he could be in the hole waiting on us. All right, we're fixing to clear that speed restriction back there. There you go. All right, we're clear of that. All right, CSXK 99 got clear distance to Lily. 9014 north out. That shadow looked like another crossing down there. Yeah, we'll probably just go north of Lily and call it there. Depends on where our meet's at. We'll go to our meet. I don't see him sitting at Dueling waiting on us. I think he's going to be at Lily. I think he's just in the clear. Yeah, 50 on a diamond, that's not going to affect us because we can only do 50, so we don't have to worry about that. There you are, coming up a Slosh Eye Trail. How do you like that road? If you guys haven't paid attention to them, check out the road names down here. Leave your tags up and check them up. Some of them are pretty interesting. It's a nice little house over there. I've never noticed that over there before. The little house in the distance in the curve. Man, that would be a good spot to live, right? If you into having trains roll by your house all day and all night, 24/7. There, I got approach on the south end of Lily. Go ahead and come out a little bit here. It looks like he's pulling in the clear. Yeah, I see him going in the clear up there, so... We may be okay. We'll see how quick he can get in clear. All right, that works out perfect then. We'll meet this guy at Lily. We'll go north a little bit, and then we'll call it. All right, let's go and grab some air. Grab some more air. We're going to have to get on pretty good. DSXK 99 got approach South Lily, 9014 north outs. All right, I think we're good right here. Nice, you can see him clearing up. That's cool. Nice, he's riding those dynamics, you hear him. Alright, let's let go of our air. We'll try to time this out where we don't have to stop. We just kind of ease up there. I like he's riding the brakes too. He may be using brakes and dynamics. I don't know how AI does it. What kind of an engineer they are. Oh, we got it clear already. Nice. All right, he's cleared up. All right, that's my kind of meat. But, you know, like I said, I may be just extremely lucky, but I always had good trips on the Fitz. Like, I know people had bad days on there. It wasn't like I was on the Fitz day in and day out to experience all that, but all the trips that I made down there, they're good trips. It was like this, like in and outs, rolling meets. You know, I can think of very few times where I like just had to sit and wait for a long time on something. Usually then it was a fleet of trains, right? Like usually it was bowling. Bowling was a place where you could definitely get popped and sit there for a long time, waiting on a bunch of trains coming out of the siding. Another place, Cordell. I remember getting popped in the rain at Cordell because I had to cut that crossing. Like, that really sucked, and that's why that stuck out in my mind, because I'd stand in the rain. It wasn't fun. Sweet, that worked out absolutely perfect. You couldn't ask for better meat. We should be clearing the south end anytime now, so he should be able to get rolling too. The peanut carts out there, that's cool. You see a lot of those sitting around. That's true to life. Only thing they'd be missing at Lily here for the experience is they had a beautiful big old wooden depot that sat right there. It was more like a freight house, I guess. It wasn't like it wasn't very ornate, right? Like, it's very utilitarian. It just looked like a big, almost like a big barn kind of building looking there, you know, sitting there. But it was pretty cool building. I don't know about that particular depot, but I know some of them, the vintage ones from definitely from the Atlanta, Birmingham, and Coast days, you could go in them, because I've been in some. You could go inside and they had vintage. You remember when they used to put posters, like they used to glue them to the wall? That was the only way they had to put them up. They had vintage, like, war bond posters, or posters, safety posters and stuff like that. Different posters from, like, World War II, or posters for the railroad about safety, like from the 20s and 30s. It was really cool. Wish someone had gone in there with a saw and cut those out and saved them. Like, probably a lot of them are gone now. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. We're on the road to 6,000 subs. We're getting so close to it. It's absolutely amazing. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Love all of you, and we'll catch you on the rails next time. Peace.